This is a Frank podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast for 2024 with me, Ellie.
Me, Chris.
And me, Guy.
Yeah, we're back, and in today's show, we're going to be doing some gaming news, of course, as we always do. We're going to be doing some listener feedback. I'm going to get straight into a game because I thought, why don't we play a game for the first show back? Just have a bit of fun, get the cobwebs out. Yeah, exactly. Chris, you want to talk about what Pokemon looks like now?
Well, no, actually, guys, what he's done is I've sent through an idea to the chat, and guys assumed I want to talk about this. And that's another topic, by the way. What Pokemon looks like now is ridiculous.
It is. And in my defense, as I fill out the run sheet every week, is that he gave me like 3 words in the group chat and then didn't elaborate. So I had to dive into Chris's head.
What did I say?
And then when I was in Chris's head, I was like, oh God, this is boring. So then I came up with another subject that I thought was better.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
So my subject is actually way more boring than that. It's more how the format of Pokemon, there's a few things in it that don't quite work.
Oh, wow. Well, stick around for that.
That's called a tease, kids.
But how was your summer, team?
It was great.
How's it been back, yeah?
Wonderful.
One thing, Guy, you touched on recently when we caught up was I didn't play any games over summer. And now that this podcast is a thing that exists and technically playing games is work, it's like I had a month off work.
Yeah. Nice.
But hey, unfortunately, back at the old coalface now. Up late last night playing games. So
what a shame.
Yeah, I was the same actually, hardly touched. I've been running and I've been doing yoga. I've started yoga.
Nice.
Namaste, guys.
Oh, namaste. I've also been running and doing yoga.
Oh, look at that.
Gosh, we look great.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've just been running, not doing yoga, eating yogurt.
Okay.
I had yogurt this morning. That's pretty close.
Okay. Yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah, we'll give you that. Yeah.
Yoga play.
But no, same thing. I've hardly touched my PlayStation, but over the last 3 or 4 days, I have been playing a game that's just released, which I'm talking about later on the show. Very excited.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Ellie?
I didn't actually, you'd be surprised to hear that I also didn't really touch my PlayStation.
What?
Isn't that weird? I'm usually such a huge gamer. No, I did actually play some Trackmania though, because when I was away with friends, it's such a good game for like 8 people in a room.
Yep.
So we were just doing these tracks together. It was really fun, but that's the only gaming I did. Before we went on holiday, I was like, all right, my secret goal is gonna be to finish It Takes Two, so I can come back on today's show and say I finished it.
Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna outright ban you from even mentioning that game until you
Don't
finish
even
it.
tell us about your goal that you failed.
I
Don't
know.
even tell us.
I'm just trying to prove that I have intent, but it just never
So what
follows
you've
through.
proved is that you don't have intent.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah.
Actually, just quickly before we move on, Guy, I know you're talking about a mystery game soon. You did say on one of the last episodes of our podcast, and I got very excited that you were going to play Cyberpunk 2077, aka
You did.
a CD Projekt Red game who made The Witcher, very close to my heart. And my wife for Christmas bought me Cyberpunk. So I've got it on disc, ready to go.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So I'm very excited to bond with you over it.
Well, when I said that, I was 3% of the way through. Now, 97
Oh, wow.
to go.
As soon as he said that, I was like, wait, that maths works out.
Yeah. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, so
Not
Nice,
even
okay.
remote.
Well,
I was
hey.
almost close to deleting it because I was installing a few more games and I needed to clear space. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'll come back to it. But
right, so you're
haven't
running an
Right.
Ellie Harwood setup on that one.
Yeah. See, welcome
So
to the
my
crew.
game, my game is a lot longer than 12 hours, and I haven't been talking about it for 6 months.
That is true. It's about 150 hours.
Yeah. Oh, well. So we want to do some listener feedback because over the holidays, thank you to everyone who was still messaging us.
I completely forgot, by the way, we did the like Christmas special, New Year's special and stuff.
yeah.
And so I got a little alert and I was like, oh, that's right.
We
Listened
did
back to
that.
them. And I even listened to the one where we decided what presents we get our family members.
Yeah.
Listened to that with my wife, Lucy, who said, oh, that's a really thoughtful gift you would have gotten me, which was like the SpongeBob game that she had the demo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she never completed. She's like, that's really thoughtful. Why don't you actually get me that? And I was like, oh, yeah, I never thought about that.
I'm only cute when I'm hypothetical. You're not actually cute in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, we have a few messages from people. So thank you for those who have messaged us. And we haven't been very good at replying in the last 4 weeks, sorry, because we've been on holiday. So we'll reply to some now. The first one, and you'll have great pleasure in hearing this, Chris. Gavin says,
Good on you, Gav.
although I'll sound exactly like Chris by bringing up The Witcher when no one asked, I committed and watched one of the videos he recommended on YouTube and bought Witcher 3. So you influenced him.
That's good. Welcome,
want
my
that.
friend. That's excellent. So I think I said to watch like the recap of The Witcher 2, which is long as. You get a rough idea, get The Witcher 3, sink your teeth in, and leave no stone unturned, Gav.
There you go. Shot, Gav.
of
Laura, I'm moving on now. We're moving on.
Okay, damn.
I just want to shout out Laura, who messaged us and said that she's loving the podcast and her partner finally got her into gaming after 8 years of convincing, and they're 60 hours into Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow.
And yeah. And she said that the podcast has been an awesome intro to all things gaming. So that's
awesome.
nice.
Wait, so Laura went from never playing games to playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is a very intense RPG.
I've read a few articles online about what are the best games to play with your partner because, I played It Takes Two with my wife and A Way Out, so I was trying to think if there were any more. And Baldur's Gate 3 came up a few times.
Because
Not as a game that, like you play, I play, which you could do, but a lot of people are saying that partners love to watch
and help
Baldur's
make
Gate
decisions
and
as
help
well.
make decisions.
Oh.
And stuff.
Yeah.
It's the decision making
because that's the part you
It's
like
so
about
good.
Detroit Become
Yes.
Human.
Yeah.
This game is just absolutely full to the brim with it.
Maybe I should try it.
Oh god.
No, I need to stop. No,
Don't.
sorry.
You're not going to. But
Actually,
yeah, you should.
genuinely
though.
was like-
yeah.
Okay, maybe I will. Shot Laura, thank you for messaging us. Ellen, last year we had a chat about Starfield, and us three have not played it, so we
No.
couldn't really speak to the experience. But we talked about how it went from super hyped to just like not really hyped at all. Ellen wanted to come in and just defend it. He loves his Xbox, and he said that he ended up putting 500 hours into the game, and he
Wow.
actually really enjoyed it.
Great.
His theory is, I feel like a large part of the reason it isn't as well liked as it could be is because us gamers have our expectations set too high.
Well, we do, especially with Bethesda. We know they
Yeah.
can do better.
So he was just sort of saying, hey, I love it. So
That's good.
You know.
And honestly, Alan, I'm a guy as well that quite often people will have like negative stuff to say. Like one game I've played, which you guys will never have heard of, is called Kingdom Come Deliverance.
You've mentioned it.
You've mentioned it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the one where you don't have a reticle in the middle, so you like
Yeah, it's very realistic.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a peasant and
Yeah.
you're not the chosen one or anything. You're just a piece of shit. And so all the reviews on that, half of them were like, don't play it, it's terrible. But then I played it and loved it and put like 200 hours into it. So I
There
hear
you
you,
go.
brother.
There
Stick
you
to your
go.
guns.
Yeah. He also said as well that he thinks that the more people who hate on it are just louder than the ones who love it,
absolutely,
which I think
Yeah.
often happens with
It could
anything
be
really.
a Nickelback situation or Pineapple on Pizza situation.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
both those things slap. Nickelback, great.
Yeah, why do
Okay.
they get so much
Nickelback,
shit?
I'd like to distance myself from that
No,
comment.
where's the camera?
I kind of agree
Nickelback
with you though.
is an amazing band. Yeah.
Like they're good.
They
Can
are.
you do it, Chris?
And Pineapple on Pizza. Oh,
I
yeah.
love Pineapple on Pizza. Nickelback is
Yeah.
not an amazing band, but I will give you the fact that they're pretty good.
Yeah,
and I like
and-
a lot
yeah.
of quite a few of their songs.
All the Right
Nice.
Reasons is an amazing album. I've already got it on my wish list to have it on vinyl.
Have you seen
Oh,
the
nice.
meme of the lead singer there holding
Chad
up
Kroeger.
Chad Kroeger holding up the thing? He's like, look at this graph.
Yeah,
And it's like a
have
graph
seen-
on the
I've seen that.
classic.
Classic. Hey, we've also had Pat message us all the way from, I might be pronouncing this wrong,
Oh, God.
Girona, Spain. Girona?
How's it spelled?
Girona?
Girona?
Girona.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Girona.
Girona
I have no idea.
in Spain.
I think it's silent G. So
Pat.
it's
Irona.
Yeah.
Oh.
Girona.
Well, I was just believing everything you two were saying.
Is it Pat?
Pat.
Wow. Okay. Hi,
There you
Pat.
go. So thank you for listening, Pat, all the way from Spain. Pat also wondered if we could share our thoughts on classic games like Warcraft 2 and Ocarina of Time. Have you guys played those games?
I have, of course. Not of course. Sorry,
Of course I have.
I have played Ocarina of Time. It's one of the greatest games to ever come out on the old Nintendo 64.
Yes.
And there's one behind me on the shelf here. It's a Pokemon Stadium one, by the way, for those listening.
Nice.
Collector's edition.
Nice.
Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, and
GoldenEye.
like Mario and Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing. They're all classics. Banjo-Kazooie. So yes, I've played it.
And did you enjoy them? Are they in
Of
your
course I
heart
did.
forever?
This was a very long time ago, though.
Yeah.
So, and I'd love to go back and try it, but unfortunately, a lot of the old games, some of them hold up real well, some of them don't, and I just worry about going back to those.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, you
I
don't
should
want to
try
you don't want to ruin that nostalgia tie
No.
you have to it, eh?
I've got big rose tinted glasses on,
Yeah.
and I'm picturing it. And it looks magnificent. So
Yeah.
I just want to leave it like
Because
that.
at the time, it was the peak of technology. So in our
Absolutely.
heads, we're like, this is amazing. Like all the PlayStation 1 games that I think of fondly. But if
Yeah.
I was to go back now, and because I've just been so used to playing next-gen consoles and all that stuff, it's just, you can't help but compare it.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it's pretty stupid.
And what was the other one? Warcraft 2.
Warcraft 2, yeah.
No, I'd never played a Warcraft game, actually. It's one of those things where I kind
Mm.
of wish I had gotten into it, but I'm also glad I hadn't because I would get way too into it.
Oh, there was a
Yeah,
guy in
right.
our broadcasting school when we did university together. There was a
Yeah.
guy that like would just never be in class.
Oh, that was Diablo.
Oh, was it Diablo? I thought it was
Yeah, it was
Warcraft.
Diablo
But like
3.
he just wouldn't be there.
He would just
for
wag.
like so many days on end, and
He was
we're
sick.
we're doing like group projects.
Yeah.
And we're like, where's so and so? He's here to do this. We didn't really contribute much to the group project.
Oh, so you two were the problem too. Okay, yeah.
But we weren't slacking off playing, video games. We were just slacking off at university.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You know.
Yeah, shout out to my wife who was actually paired up with him for a group project.
She was.
And to this day is like still furious about it. Because when it came time to present, he was like the guy presenting it and took over.
He was the showboat.
That would roll me right up if I'd done all the work.
So
and then-
she still to this day is like furious about it. But hey, Diablo 3 must have been good because he took like a
loved
week
it.
off school. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
he did. Also, I just want to shout out Nicholas, who's given us a site, a website called doesitplay.org, and it's literally a site where you can check whether a physical game can be played solely by the disc without updates. So it's a good way to check if you can just play it on the disc. If you know you don't have internet or you don't want to have to, it's a way to check if it's just disc only.
Isn't it crazy how you have to have a website to do that nowadays?
Yeah.
I suppose because a lot of games come out and then they update them when they figure out bugs. But that's really, really handy.
Yeah.
Do you know who would benefit from that? Is a listener of the show who's messaged him before. Old dial-up Greg. He lives out in Outback Australia.
Is he?
Yeah. I think that's where he
Outback
said.
Australia.
Outback Australia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's rural.
Well, he's rural.
He's rural.
So compared to where
But-
we live, it's the
I
outback.
feel like we made that
It's
up.
probably
but
just
sure.
on I could have sworn that's what he said. That's why he's got terrible internet because he lives far out.
It's
he
something
lives.
like that.
He lives on top of Ayers Rock.
Well, howdy, I'm Outback Greg.
Yeah, well, do you think he can even load the website though?
Possibly. Yeah, he's out. He's out in the out in the outback with his phone like,
Hang on, how does he get our podcast? Isn't that distributed via the internet?
Hey, that's a really good point.
And how does he? Yeah,
Let us know, Outback Greg, when you hear this.
Yes.
in
Next
4
week.
weeks'
Where
time.
you at?
Next week, I hear he lives in Antarctica.
I do have some listener feedback from somebody who does jump in on the show quite regularly, and that is Jordan.
Yes.
Messages in all the time. He did over the summer actually play some video games. And do you know what he platinumed? It Takes Two.
Wow.
And he sent me a video of him
Did he?
getting the platinum trophy, and he's got some content for you. Make sure you show Ellie.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
Jordan with one of his friends, and he says, I'm starting to play it. He sent it on like a Friday, and then on Monday he sent me
He'd
the video
done it.
being like, platinumed it.
Do you know what that is, Ellie? That's work ethic.
Yeah,
That's commitment.
all right.
That's
It's mana.
dedication.
Yeah, all right. Well, I guess I'm going to round it out with old Daniel
mana.
here.
It's money.
Completing a 2-person co-op game. I like that.
Daniel, last shout out. I just want to shout him out because since we're on the topic of It Takes Two, Daniel and his partner were the ones that started playing It Takes Two in like November.
Oh, yes, I remember them.
Yeah, no, they clocked it before me and
of
Sam.
course.
So, yeah.
Part of me was like, I thought you were going to be like, yeah, no, they've divorced.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, she took the PlayStation. He took the controllers.
It was messy.
It was a real horrible
It was
divorce.
terrible.
Yeah.
He's living with his parents. Great. That was great listener feedback.
Yeah.
Considering
Thank
we
you.
haven't been here for a while. Thank you very much, everyone. And don't forget, you can always get in touch via the ECG Instagram, which is...
At Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, nice.
And
I
also
loved-
don't forget,
Sorry,
what were you going to say?
Finish the plug. Finish the
I
plug.
was going to say, we're also on YouTube at ECG Podcast. We have our full videos there if you actually want to see our faces while we talk. Maybe not, but if you do, it's there. What are we going to say, Guy?
I just love how we're like 22, 23 episodes deep, and he goes, you can follow us on Instagram, and he just looked at me like, it's at...
What is it?
Yeah, well, because
It's
you're
like,
the
come
one-
on, man.
You named all our channels different names, all right? It's confusing as.
It is a
And I
bit,
didn't want to
eh?
throw you under the bus, but here we are.
Well, I'm glad that when you looked at me, because in my head, I was like, shit, what is it? So thank you, Ellie.
No worries.
Yep.
Gaming news.
Oh, I've missed that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
same.
guys. Gaming news. Don't then gesture to one another that you haven't missed it and you were only joking. That really upsets me. All right, here's your first headline. A month after the day before.
Ah,
So-
yes.
Ellie's like
Yep.
nodding, pretending she knows what's going on. But the day before,
The game.
Guy spoke about it.
Yeah, I
at the end
remember
of last
this.
year. Basically, quick recap because I watched a half-an-hour video on the full saga over the summer.
Oh, nice.
So there were two brothers. I'm pretty sure they're from Russia, but they're now based out of Singapore for like tax reasons and stuff. They started a game company called Fantastic. They made a few games. They then said we're going to make an open world online like zombie game. It's going to be called The Day Before. You'll be able to have like hundreds of you all on there building bases together, surviving against these zombies. Blah blah blah. Promised the world. Said it was going to come out at a certain date. It was pushed back a million times. It was the most wishlisted game on Steam. They did not deliver. Fun fact, halfway through, after they'd pushed the date back a couple of times, they'd promised they'd release some gameplay footage.
Mm-hmm.
What they released instead was some footage of their new app they were working on, which was basically Microsoft Teams. It was bizarre. It was
What?
like, yo, here's the new gameplay footage, and it was like a few shots of them, like here's some like screenshots of the game. And by the way, we caught up about this on our new app. It's called blah blah, and it was like
God.
trying to pivot away because
Yeah,
they'd clearly given up on it.
Oh.
Eventually, the game finally did come out, and it was So Unreal Engine 4, which Ellie, you'll have no idea what that is, right?
Yes.
But basically, it is a toolkit that you can subscribe to if you want to design your own game.
Oh, no, I do know about this. Sam's been wanking on about this.
Your partner, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
I do. Sorry.
Do you tell him that Sam stopped wanking on about it, or is it when he listens to this podcast, he's going to be like, oh.
Oh, no, I always
Sorry.
sound very interested.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
no, I've got it. It's got really good, like, deep graphics and stuff or something, right?
The new one does, Unreal Engine 5.
Okay.
This game was all built in Unreal Engine 4. At the last minute, they decided to switch to the new one. But basically what it does is it goes, hey, here's this full program for you to design your own game. Here are some like default people. Here's some default weapons you can use. Here's a default map. They basically released the game and it was all those default things.
Yeah,
They just put them together and done a piss weak job at turning it into a game. And it's called, I think, asset flipping, where you just take what's on offer from the bloody game developer
service,
store,
yeah.
and you just like
right.
change the color of a guy's shirt, and then boom, he's your main character.
Oh, so they weren't necessarily actually developing
No,
it
they
from
just
scratch.
use a whole lot of crap,
Like stock
3D
images.
used tools,
It's like when you-
basically. Yeah,
It's like when you
Oh my
get like a
God.
Baldur's Gate game or Cyberpunk, and they give you, when you create your own character, and they give you a base model, you're like, that'll do.
Yeah, right.
And
oh
then
my
just move
goodness.
on.
default, boom, and then that's how they release the game. So anyway, most wishlisted game on Steam in a long time. Blah blah blah. It comes out instantly. It's absolutely terrible. It gets pulled. The company shuts down. Goes out of business, and everyone's happy because it was such a debacle. The news is that they have started working on a new game.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, why?
The two brothers.
Really?
Wait, so the guys that were started out in Russia and then moved to Singapore for tax reasons and then have made a game that's lasted a month long has now got a new game?
That's right, and a new game
Whoa,
company. So they shut down.
sign me up.
They shut down Fantastic. They've got a new game company, and they're designing a mobile game.
Oh, yes.
So, Guy,
okay.
you'll be all about
I'm
that.
all
They're
about
trying
it.
to make some quick bucks back, eh?
I think
You
so,
reckon?
but the whole thing's shady. They're currently advertising for game developers to come and work for them. They've described themselves as a veteran game developing duo.
Ooh.
How do they say that when literally the press was all just so awful?
I know, right?
Like,
So
what?
it's bold for them just to be
Yeah.
like, hopefully no one read or heard about that massive story.
Yeah.
So that's your first gaming news for 2024. Here is your second gaming news. Pal World powers into the world with 5 million pals exploring the world of Pal World.
Nice.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Pal World, the
Have
new
you heard of
game.
it? The
I
new
have.
game.
I
So
have.
Pal World, Guy.
Yes.
Have you heard about it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Damn it. So Pal World is basically.
Well, don't just give up because we've heard about
Nah,
it. We
why do I
should
even
know.
bother? You know, why do I even bother?
What do you want us to be like? No.
No, what's that? It's the
I'm so
big game that
clueless.
just came out.
Thank you. That's better. Please, Chris, tell it. You're so knowledgeable. So Power World, if you haven't heard about it, it's just come out on Steam. I think Xbox as well, not on PlayStation. But it is essentially Pokemon with guns. So it's an open world. Hey, let me describe it to you. Action-adventure survival game set in an open world populated with collectible creatures known as pals. There are over 100 of them. And yes, it does sound exactly like Pokemon. It's described as Pokemon with guns because
We've been wanting that for like 20 years.
which is
Okay.
And to be fair, like the latest Pokemon games have been garbage. Like the open world Pokemon finally, because I've been wanting that for years, 3D, and it's just pretty average.
Yep.
But basically, the premise is it's a bit more gritty. For example, you can equip all your pals with guns. There's over 100 to collect and battle, and you catch them using pal spheres.
They've really leaned into this pals thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
Although Pokemon's the same.
Yeah,
Pokeballs,
Pokeball.
But that's the thing,
Pokesensor,
is they've
Pokemart.
straight up ripped it off.
Yeah.
Pal spheres, are you serious?
Yeah.
Pokeball. And you can, they're basically a bit more gritty. So if you run out of food, guess what? You're eating your pals.
Oh, you eat your...
You eat
You eat your pals. You know, in Pokemon, everyone's like, wait, what are they? Are they eating like a Tauros, which is a cow Pokemon? Like, are they eating a Tauros? You know, they never really addressed it.
Yeah.
And this, they're like, no, yeah, you're straight up eating your pals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can also force them to work and force them to do labor in factories, etc., to produce goods.
Oh, this sounds abusive.
It's a bit like GTA because you can get a wanted level if you assault humans. And then other humans will come and get you and blah, blah, blah. So it's a bit more like R18 Pokemon almost. But in the first 24 hours it was released, it already had 3 million people download it.
Wow.
Currently it's over 5 million.
That's
wow.
crazy.
So people are
That's
all
record-breaking,
about it.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are all about it.
Wow.
So if you're ever keen to play Pokemon with guns and you think the modern Pokemon games suck, check out Power World and let us know how you get on
Yeah,
because
I'd
I don't
love
have an
to know.
Xbox.
Just off the back of that, what do you reckon would be the most delicious Pokemon to eat?
Oh.
You know, you're out in Kanto,
Kanto,
Johto,
Johto,
and you're No, you're in the bush.
I might just have to look them up first.
And you're just
so-
like, you've run out of food and you've got your 6 Pokeballs and you know one of them is.
Because I can imagine you chowing down on a Diglett.
No, I reckon like a Jigglypuff.
Like a hot dog?
I reckon like a Jigglypuff,
I
like
forgot.
3 or 4 Jigglypuffs, skewer them, and then
Oh.
just roast them, slowly roast them, you know?
Damn,
Oh,
that's
this is
grim.
getting really
That is
graphic.
so
Oh,
No,
grim.
I'm asking
No,
a
actually-
question. So 3
Okay.
Jigglypuffs, and then just, under the fire, just slowly roast, bit of rosemary, bit of salt.
Yeah,
just,
right.
Oh,
I reckon.
the
They're
sound
still-
effects.
They're still singing.
I mean, honestly-
Jigglypuffs. Anything? What are you?
Some roasted Jigglypuffs. They even sound delicious.
Right.
Jigglypuffs.
Yeah.
Like, I would probably just go for like a Pidgey. I'm picturing
Oh,
chicken.
yeah, there's birds.
Just get a whole lot of Pidgeys.
Right.
Yeah, get a sparrow. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Either that or just chow down on an onyx, which is just a whole lot of
A
boulders.
whole lot of bricks.
Yeah.
Oh,
What about
okay.
you, Ellie? You've been able to Google while we've been killing
Look,
times here.
Yeah, I've literally looked up Pokemon species to have a look at what looks yummy. And oh no, I was going to say the Magikarp because it looks like a fish.
Oh,
But it looks-
Magikarp. You can
Magikarp.
mass farm them.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
don't.
yeah?
I don't want to try stick a knife in a Magikarp because then it might get angry and turn into a Gyarados.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that detail. Yeah, I think that's all
Just
I've
say
got. They're
anything.
all
Just
too
say
cute.
anything. Just say anything. Just
What about a Metapod?
done? Eat a Metapod.
Ooh.
That's like a bug.
Eat a chrysalis of a caterpillar. Yeah, it's a
Ugh.
great
Oh,
idea.
is it a chrysalis?
Yeah.
What
good
about
luck.
seal dugong? You know?
Seals?
Yeah, just smack it, smack it over the
You
head.
don't have to say how you're going to kill it, guy,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
God, be more from the South Island. Jesus. Anyway, that's your gaming news. Good riddance.
Let us know on Instagram what Pokemon you'd eat.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's the handle again?
First show of the year, and I thought, what better way to get back into gaming than playing a game together? What do you
Ugh.
think?
Smart.
I know
Sounds brilliant.
I'm very smart. Now you would have heard me talk in a couple of episodes, talk about GeoGuesser, the game. And no, I'm not being paid to say this. It sounds like I have like a brand deal with them, but I actually don't. I just genuinely really like the game.
So just remind me just quickly because I've forgotten about it.
Yes,
What's
yes.
GeoGuesser again?
Great question, Chris. Great question,
How do you-
Chris.
Dumbass. I don't know what it is.
Sorry, I'm not a geo dude like you. I don't know all about it.
Now, basically, GeoGuesser, it's just online, geoguesser.com. Anyone can play it on a computer. And essentially, you can play certain different maps, but it essentially puts you in a country or a city, and you've got to try and guess where you are based on landmarks or street signs or language or.
Like a photo of the spot.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Google
but you
look
Street
around?
Maps, yeah.
You can look around. You can also play where you're not allowed to look around, so you can change the settings to be harder or easier.
Right,
But you
okay.
can look around. You can move up and down the street on Google Maps. So they use Google Maps. It's essentially integrated with Google Maps, and that's how it's done. It's really fun.
Right, okay.
So I thought today we could do a little bit of a game here. Now this may be a big fail because we haven't actually done this on an audio platform before. But essentially, I'm going to play with you guys the famous landmarks version of the game. It's only going to be 5 minutes, so don't worry, we're not going to be stuck on this for 20 minutes like other
Right.
quizzes we may have done in the past.
So is it like how many we can get right in 5 minutes?
You actually, each round you only actually get 5 goes, and then it's your points out of, I think it's out of 25,000.
Right, okay.
Max 5,000 for each.
Is it to do with how
Okay.
long it takes and whether you, yeah,
And
okay.
how close you are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start the game up. I haven't seen this before. I'm just going to be live explaining to you guys what I'm saying, and we're going to try and guess it
And we
together.
can't look
Okay.
at it. It's purely audio from you.
I mean, we'll see how bad it is.
Okay.
Maybe I will turn
Play a couple of
around.
rounds
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so if you're also listening, you can play as well. That's why I kind of want to keep it audio so they can play too. You
Very
know?
good. Very
So
good.
Yeah.
inclusive.
Yeah, that's me. Here we go. Okay, I'm looking at. It looks very oriental. There's some roofs that are sort of curved.
Oh, like Japanese.
So like in
yeah,
Japan?
yeah,
Kyoto.
or maybe even Chinese. I don't know.
Mount Fuji.
I'm looking at the
No,
language,
it's a mountain.
and it could look
Kyoto.
Looks like it could be Japanese.
Is it like a city or a village?
It's more like a little villagey thing I'm in right now. Like it's just like a little village with Japanese or Chinese type looking buildings. Let me
Because
see
they
if
all
this.
look the same to you, don't they, Ellie?
Yeah.
All those
Yeah.
buildings.
Don't you dare say that.
Okay, and is there any buildings that are like a lot of those stacked on top of one another? A lot
Like
of
a
those
temple?
curved roofs.
Yeah, it's more. It could be a temple, but I'm looking at the language on the side, and it is Japanese.
Okay,
so
so
where
I
in
reckon
Japan do
Kyoto,
you
that's the
think?
traditional area with
All
all
right,
the buildings that
Kyoto.
weren't destroyed in World War II.
Oh, nice.
Which is
Okay.
an anagram for Tokyo.
Hey.
Wait, what?
That's the whole point. They did the
It's-
Twin cities.
Crazy.
Is it actually?
Yeah, Kyoto.
Ellie, you just focus on clicking
Oh my
that
God.
map there.
Okay, now if hypothetically if I didn't know where Kyoto was, where would I find it
It's
on?
in Japan, like sort of halfway down near Mount Fuji.
Is it near Tokyo? No.
It's
No,
near the bottom,
down.
isn't it? It's like
No, it's not.
Is it not that?
No. The
Oh,
bottom,
found it. Okay,
yeah.
let's see if we've got it right. Okay, and nice. We were only 8.4 Ks from the actual location.
Hey!
Nice. Good
We're awesome.
work.
Let's end it
Okay.
there.
Round
1 for 1. That's all we need.
Okay, round 2. What I'm looking at here are sort of big buildings.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yeah,
That
Nah.
is really helpful. Yeah.
No, it's like stone and big pillars, like big.
like Greece, like
Yeah,
Rome.
could be something like that. I'm just,
So the pillars, what shape's the building? Does it have is it a triangle roof?
um,
the big
What color?
pillars.
Like grey stone?
they're grey stone, yep. And then there's sort of a red building. I'm thinking it actually could be France because on the sign it says Rue Saint Jacques.
Okay, so
and
we're in
then
France.
Place d'Ames. Okay, sorry.
Place d'Ames. That is French for.
I don't know.
What's a famous landmark in France?
Oh,
It's
the
like a-
Eiffel something.
It almost looks like it almost looks like it could be a parliament building or something. Like it's sort of like
The
six-
Beehive. Sorry, okay.
Oh, it's so annoying. There are so many like iconic buildings in France that
Yeah.
aren't.
All right, name 3. No, we're getting distracted. Okay.
I'm going to move down the road slightly and just see what else we can see.
We just have to
here.
lock in an area. It's not going to
Yeah.
be Paris.
Just
It's
go-
going to be like where's somewhere in
Somme.
what?
I don't know. That's the river, isn't it?
No, there's Nîmes.
Nîmes. Oh dear. Again, don't know where that is.
Just put in Paris. Put in Paris.
Should we just go near Paris?
Just
I'll
drop
just
it.
go. I'll just go near
drop a pin
Paris.
in Paris.
Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. So it was in French Canada.
Oh, son of a! That is so
yeah, damn
lame.
it. That's
Let's show you some French signs and some
Yeah.
old stuff and go, oh, it's actually French Canada.
yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
So it's in Montreal, which is very French
That's
based.
like showing you some
Yeah.
Chinese looking stuff and they go, oh, sorry, it's Chinatown in the middle of
Yeah,
New
yeah.
York.
Exactly. Oh, this game will get you. Okay.
All right.
Round 3 of 5. All right, what am I looking at? Okay, I'm looking at some ruins. It's like we're in grass, but there's ruins. It's stone.
Okay.
Stonehenge.
It's
Is it
not
like Machu
Stonehenge.
Picchu or something? Is it deep in the Mexican or the South American jungle?
It seems to be low. Like it doesn't seem to be too high. It doesn't seem like it's on the top
It's
of a
not a
mountain.
pyramid or anything?
Nah, it's on like a hill sort of, but like a low hill.
A hillock.
There's a cemetery.
There's a
Looks like
cemetery
a
there,
really
guy.
old church. Lot of stone. Let me see if I can find a
Like
language.
Scotland.
I'm thinking
Maybe.
just somewhere in England, right?
It could be. It could be
English
either.
countryside.
There are. It's quite old and ruiny looking though.
Can you read any of the gravestones?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, what have we got here? All right. Oh, they're all like mossy. They're really old. Like I can't actually see
mossy.
any language.
Can you get rid
here.
of any of the moss?
No, I don't think I can do that on this game.
Is the moss on the north side or the south side of the
Because
stone?
moss points to civilization, Ellie.
Moss points to
Oh.
north.
So if we know, then we know which part of Europe we're in.
Oh yes. Oh, okay. Hang on. I've found a van that's parked there, and it's a Europe car van branded.
Oh, like a Eurocar, like the hire car.
yeah, it's
yeah,
like
okay.
a van. Looks like a courier van almost.
Is
but
it a rear license plate you can see or a front license plate?
I can't see a plate, unfortunately.
It's
but I can
helpful,
always.
it's helpful stuff.
I can also see that it is. I just want to see the sign, see if it's written in English. Hang on. Is
no,
it
it's
English?
all good. All thousands of millions of us listening will just wait for you. It's all good.
It's quite a niggly little mouse pad. This one. Trying to work out if it's English or not.
Should we just put in England?
Yeah, should we just go with where in England do you think it could be?
Smack it in the middle. Just
Right in the middle.
right in the
I
Midlands.
think Scotland, but yeah, just
Oh, don't be that
you know,
person.
I'm being that person. You know, I'm
Should I
that
do
person.
Edinburgh?
Hedge your bets.
No, you're right. Go with England.
England?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
right in smack bang in the middle of the UK.
I
Okay.
reckon it's Scotland.
Okay, it is. It's Ireland.
Ah!
But we were only 412 k's away.
That's
so
not
it's actually
far.
not that bad.
At least it's not in Canada.
Exactly. All right, round 4 of 5. Oh, okay, I can see some flags, and the flag has blue on the top, red on the bottom, and a white triangle. Maybe Czech
That's
or something like that.
Isn't that no? It's like oh, hang on. Is it a triangle on the side?
yeah, it's a white triangle, and then blue at the top, red.
Yeah, that's Czechoslovakia or like
Okay.
Czech Republic.
Okay.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Depends what decade we're in. but-
Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
And what I'm
Okay.
looking at is a big pond. It seems.
Ah,
like a big pondy
pond of
with
Czech
some
Republic.
concrete. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's where the Prime Minister found. Freedom.
He fished for the freedom of the people.
Yeah,
Okay, should I just guess like somewhere in Czech?
Slovenia.
Should we go?
No, that's a completely
Is there like
different country.
like a wetlands?
Nah,
The Pika wetlands.
it's very stony and just like trees and sort of a courtyard esque.
Oh, okay, so it's like a palace. Sorry, guys, too busy cracking himself.
No,
up.
I'm just loving that your clues for every single one of them is like, all right, so it's stony and there's grass.
What kind of pond is it? Like, is it like a man-made
Clear?
pond?
I think it's
Green?
man-made.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a stone wall with like a pond in the middle. The city's behind.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like a bath? Like an
Mm,
ancient bath that
Could
some
be.
king might have used for bathing?
could be. It's
Or
quite big, but
queen.
yeah, could be.
Spain.
You want
What,
to,
what colour's the rock?
even though the flag is clearly Czech.
Czech Republic.
Oh, Czech Republic.
Okay, let's go just Prague and check, eh?
Prague.
Should we just try that? Okay, no, we're in the Philippines.
Oh, shit.
Wait, what?
The issue is we 100% trusted Guy's knowledge of flags.
Hang on. Let me just look
Wait,
up.
yeah, that might have been the Philippines. Dang.
Hang on.
We're in Manila.
I feel like Czech might have like a little icon in it as well.
Okay,
maybe.
currently I'm sitting here doing a podcast while you're on a laptop and Guy's Googling the
Okay,
Czech Republic
okay. So
flag.
Czech Republic flag or Czechnia is white on the top, red on the bottom, with a blue flag.
Okay,
with a
so it
blue
was-
triangle.
it
So
was
very
similar.
similar.
Now Google the Philippines flag.
Oh no, this is really exposing our geography knowledge.
Oh, they're so similar.
Oh, good try.
Blue on the top, red on the bottom, white triangle with a little
I
star
didn't
in
see
the.
the star.
Oh.
Not that that would have made a difference.
That would have made a world of difference.
Yeah.
Last one, let's go.
Okay, last one. Now we are standing outside a large building. Would you believe it?
Is it made of stone?
No,
Empire
this,
State Building.
this is quite modern. It says 3 UN Plaza, and then along the road, there's a whole lot of every single flag.
Okay,
so
so
I feel
we're
like
outside
it's,
the UN building. Where the hell's that?
where is the UN
You
building?
sounded so sure of yourself. I was, oh, Guy's got this in the bag.
Actually, yeah. Where's the UN building?
Well, it's in America, isn't
Is
it?
it Washington?
Is it?
Washington?
I don't
DC?
know.
Oh, there's
Should
going to
I
be
try?
so many people annoyed at us.
Yeah, I know.
You guys are
The UN
idiots.
building is in the United Nations somewhere. Yeah, let's put it in America.
Wait,
Should we go
is,
America?
is America even in the United Nations?
I think they are, but why do I feel like it'd be more likely to be like not in America?
Remember
I
when
don't
we
know
did
why.
a gaming
Geneva.
podcast? Good job we don't do a
We're
flag
a,
podcast.
Yeah, we're a geography podcast now.
All right, let's
should I
just
just
go-
guess Washington?
Go Washington, D.C.
Okay, and let's see. Yeah, we were only 357 k's away. It was in New York. It's actually quite close.
Oh, well,
it,
we're in the
may-
same
it
country.
might not have been the UN building, but there was a whole lot of flags.
2 out of 5.
So out of a possible 25,000 points, we got 12,800. So we got half.
Just over half.
Just under half.
That's good. We got 50%.
That's the ECG sweet spot.
Oh, yeah. Pass.
There you go.
Oh,
That's good.
it's a shame this round's over. G'day, guys.
G'day. Always love your entrances, by
Thank
the way.
you. Just
yeah.
trying to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
You guys should take some notes on that. Now, sorry, it's the first episode of the year, and I'm throwing shade. So over the summer break, so at the end of last year, I went on my honeymoon to Europe. All right.
Yes.
I was away
Did
for a
you?
couple of weeks. It was very nice. Guy, you lent me your Switch with Zelda on it, which was very nice as well. For the flights, and there were a lot of them, I had that. I also had my laptop with a whole lot of Netflix shows downloaded onto it. And I forgot about this. I downloaded a Pokemon game, a Game Boy game, onto my phone. So you can, and I feel bad about this because emulators are illegal. However, I looked up how much it costs to actually get this game and a Game Boy to play it on, and it was like $500. Honestly, Pokemon games nowadays for a copy of like an old game is like over 150 New Zealand.
Well, like
dollars.
the Game Boy Color
The
cartridge.
cartridge itself.
Really?
Wow.
They're so collectible.
Oh, man, I left mine outside and it got rained
Oh,
on.
and I'm thinking about all the
Aw.
ones. And the thing that made me feel better is I actually used to have this back in the day, and then I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I paid for it once. That's all good. Anyway, so I was playing Heart Gold, which is a remake of a classic Pokemon game, Pokemon Gold. You're in Johto. It's the series that came out after the original 150. It's all very fun. However, whilst playing it, I realized there is a serious issue with the way Pokemon games work. Guy, you've played Pokemon games?
I have.
Ellie, have you played Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Crystal?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
And for those listening right now that haven't either, don't worry about it. She's all good. Basically,
Okay.
this is how the game works. You start out, you are very like the TV show. You are a trainer. You call him, let's say, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You get your first Pokemon. You get to pick out a 3. In the traditional games, it was Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander. You get to pick one of them, and then you go through, you collect Pokemon, you battle your way up, get all the gym badges, and then challenge the Elite Four, and then become the champion.
And at this point,
Okay.
and this is the big thing for me, is that you leave home to go and battle strangers with little monsters, and you're like 11.
Oh, yeah.
If you mention Ash's mum,
Interesting.
by the way, I'm going to slap you.
I forgot about that. Yes.
You're not allowed to
No.
mention
You
Ash's
leave your mum to get ploughed.
No, Guy. Professor Oak is not trying to get with Ash's mum, all right? Okay.
Not trying. He's already done it.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so you're doing this, right? And so I'm playing Heart Gold. You're not leaving Pallet Town in this one. You're leaving New Bark Town. It's like where you grew up. You're leaving this little
Okay.
town. You go to the next town. You then move your way up to Violet City, which is the first city you get to. When you're there, you go into your first like big area where you've got to battle your way to the top. It is the Bellsprout Tower.
Oh, I hate that one.
Really?
I'm thinking of the ghost one.
Yeah, it's the Bellsprout. Oh, no, you're thinking of Lavender Town and
Lavender
Pokemon
Town.
Red. Yeah, no, the Bellsprout Tower is just like a tower with a whole lot of old dudes in it. They've got Bellsprouts. They've got like a couple of Ghastlies, nothing major. And so you got to battle your way to the top. Now, how it works, Ellie, is that your Pokemon that you first get is level 5.
Okay.
Every time you battle another Pokemon or a trainer, you get experience points. Your little experience bar fills up, and then when it gets to the end, you go up to level 6.
Gotcha.
And then at certain levels, you unlock new moves, and at certain levels, you evolve into a more powerful Pokemon.
Cool.
That's how it works. You have a team of 6. It's very easy. In the Bellsprout Tower, it's like you got to go to this tower. There are elders there who have been training their entire lives dedicated to Pokemon. All right? You got to battle your way to the top, get to the elder, challenge him. He's your tough fight.
Yeah,
and then he
right.
will decide whether or not he likes the way you operate with Pokemon, whether you care for them enough, whether you're a good trainer. And if you are, he will give you the move Flash to light up a cave so you can go through this cave.
Diglett Cave.
Okay.
No, that's a
Damn it. I'm
damn it,
trying
you're trying to sound like you know what you sound like. You're talking
But
about.
I am talking about, there is a Diglett Cave.
Yeah, but Diglett Cave doesn't need Flash. You're thinking of Rock Tunnel, all right, to get to Lavender Town. Okay, anyway. I love how much knowledge I have of
Sounds
these
so
games.
cool.
I love how we've been talking for like what seems like forever and he still hasn't got to the point that's annoyed him yet.
Yes. Here is the point.
Okay.
You get to the top of the Bellsprout Tower. You fight your way there. You get to the Elder, right? You battle your way through like 10 other guys, get to the Elder. He's like, all right, time for the ultimate test. Let's go. What does he send out?
A Bellsprout.
A level 6 Bellsprout. This is a man who's like 90, who's dedicated his entire life to training Pokemon, and he sends out a Bellsprout that is one level higher than the Pokemon I was given on my 11th birthday.
Wait, so you need to battle that?
So I battle him, right? And so the way it works is as you go further through the game, the trainers all are like, they're all hard. They get harder.
Yeah, okay.
However, this guy in this first town is like 90, dedicated his whole life to it. He's got a level 6 Bellsprout.
Oh, so it doesn't make sense
No.
narratively.
So your
I see.
issue was with like kind of like the game writers to sort of make this guy seem like he's big dog when he isn't. But like the idea of battling somebody with the Pokemon that's ever so slightly more powerful than yours so early in the game makes sense. But they've written him like he's the Lord of Pokemon and he's got one,
Gotcha.
he's got a Pokemon.
Yeah,
like
he's
it's like he
like
started
Colonel
Pokemon
Bellsprout.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right,
So
right.
he's got, and literally in the very next area of long grass, which is where you find wild Pokemon, Ellie, there is level 7 Bellsprouts that you can catch, literally stronger than the guy who spent his entire life dedicated. All he had to do was go 50 meters to this little patch of grass and he would have caught an already more powerful Pokemon.
Well, he's 90,
Right.
man. Lay off. I'm surprised.
But he's dedicated his whole life in the Bellsprout Tower training his Bellsprouts.
Has he actually dedicated his whole life? Is that in the
That's
story?
the story.
Oh.
And he's the elder. And then once you've beaten his 2 Bellsprouts, he sends out a level 10 Hoot Hoot, which is like a little owl. And I understand it sounds stupid. But the owls suck. Level 10 Hoot Hoot, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is the thing. And then
Okay.
the thing that really like makes this seem weird is that like literally half an hour later, I'm going along just a path to get to the next town. And I come up against a youngster, which is a type of trainer.
Right.
A young kid who's the same age as me, looks like he's 10. He's got his hat on backwards and he's like, yo, I want to fight. He has got a level 10 Mankey. This is youngster Ian, and a level 12 Diglett. He is like 10,
Oh.
and his Pokemon are already way better than the elder who's dedicated his entire life to training Bellsprouts.
Okay.
I see.
This is the issue
So it's
I'm
a
having.
real narrative issue there.
So just a bit of a narrative issue. And
Yeah.
I don't know a way around it. I don't know if they fixed it in the later games because I haven't played them, but it's just like kind of doesn't make sense.
I
Like
don't
there's this old guy who's a legend who sucks at training Pokemon.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anyone out there that's actually thought this deeply about it.
Probably
You know?
not. Hope
Yeah,
not,
I wonder.
'cause They probably have a pretty successful podcast if they did. But then it gets even worse, right? You beat the game. You get all 8 badges. You beat the Elite Four. You then get to go to Kanto, which is the original region, and you get to explore all of that and take on all those gym leaders. First trainer I come up against is a school kid. His name is School Kid Danny.
Oh.
He sounds
Pathetic.
tough.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nightmare to deal with.
He
Yeah.
has a level 43 Electabuzz, a level 43 Jinx, and a level 43 Magma, all of
my
which are
God.
incredibly rare and hard to obtain Pokemon and incredibly powerful.
I see.
And he's a school kid. He's like 5.
So yeah, did he inherit them from someone?
Well,
Is
he's
that
like,
the most
oh.
He
likely?
inherited it from his 90-year-old granddad who committed his life to Pokemon.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there it is.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe
Yes.
he conned his granddad. Like, Granddad, I've got this amazingly powerful Hoot Hoot.
Yeah.
Can you give me your Electabuzz?
Maybe.
So that's just the issue. There's a narrative issue with Pokemon that I realized.
Okay. I see what you
Right.
mean. The thing is they can't go too realistic because then it would just be, hey, pop up to the top of that tower. There's a guy who started a couple days ago. and just battle him, and then he'll give you flash. He's pretty shit, but you should be able to knock him out.
An
Just
11-year-old should be able to
take a potion with you just in case.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll up your pup. Won't take you long.
And
And
then-
I'll be down here when you get back. If that was the game, you'd be like, oh my God, this is
that's
so boring.
boring, yeah.
But I understand what you mean, where they're like,
Yeah.
they've overdone it.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
find
yeah.
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Go, there's a guy up there, he's pretty tough. He's taking a few people out.
He's
But-
not like amazing, but like, he's all good.
He's
And
not
this is actually a problem that a lot of games have is when you start out, you're low leveled and you got to like unlock new powers, and so the game slowly gets harder. But narratively, it's like, so if one of these guys from the really hard bit of the game was at the very start, he'd be like the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pointing at.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Ellie, thoughts?
Yeah, right. Well, look, as you know, I don't know much about it. But I can see why you have an issue with it.
I wasn't
for
like
sure.
riled up about it, by the way. I just thought it was funny.
No, it is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I
You
wonder.
seem pretty rolled up.
I'm quite scared over here.
That's funny.
Just be better, Nintendo.
No, I see what you mean. I wonder when it comes to, obviously when you write a book, say, it's all going into the narrative and the story.
Yeah.
When you make a game, there's that element, but there's also the coding, the
gameplay
development and stuff. Is it, do you think, I don't know the answer to this, I'm just asking, do you think that there's an issue where too much resource goes into the actual development and not enough into the story sometimes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
I
So
don't
we
know.
need better authors.
Well, and also the other thing too is like 5 people made this game as well back like 25 years ago. So I'm going to cut them a serious amount
true.
of slack.
And you
Elliot,
didn't-
you probably too should
didn't
too
pay
as
for
well,
it.
actually.
Yeah, no, maybe.
And I illegally downloaded it.
Oh, dear.
But this is actually, and I'm going to talk about this later. This has actually led me into a new thing that I've stumbled upon that I'm currently obsessed with.
Oh, okay.
And
Was
it's
that a
a-
little tease for
It's a little
shortly?
tease. If you enjoyed that yarn, holy shit, there's another one coming up later on.
Oh, well, there you go. We're already at the end of the episode. That was quite quick, wasn't it? Or was it long? I think it was quite quick.
There were some long bits.
Actually, the last segment was quite long with Chris yarning.
Chris,
was
building,
like half the length of
building
your
to his point.
I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. No, my game was a bit far-fetched, I think. But hey, what are you guys going to play this week? Guy, what are you playing?
This week, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. Came out last week. We talked about this early on the podcast. Chris was away.
Yes.
I believe it was episode 18 when the news dropped it was coming out.
Yeah.
I said I don't believe that this game needs a remaster. I stand by that in the sense where I don't think it's needed.
Yes,
but
anyway.
now that I've played it, I absolutely think that if you are a fan of The Last of Us Part 2 or just the franchise itself, you should be buying this game.
Okay.
Because it's not just that they've updated it visually and, audio and stuff like that. It's not just that. It's the fact that the amount of value that you get is pretty high level. If you already own The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 4, you don't have to outright buy this game again.
Yeah.
So for $17 NZ, which is $10 US, you can just go onto the PlayStation Store and upgrade it.
Cool.
So they're not trying to swindle you for another $80, $90.
That's
like
good.
they did with The Last of Us 1.
Exactly.
So
right?
they learned their lesson there.
their lesson from that. But
Yeah.
whereas with that game, I believe, it was just a complete remaster. Like they just made it look better. But
Yeah.
with this,
So-
there's more game modes.
So,
Oh.
Last of Us 1, the remaster that they've recently done, they completely reanimated everything.
Yeah.
So that was a far more involved, whereas this is like up-specking the current because it's already so good.
Yeah, right? Because
Gotcha.
it came out in June 2020, which, 3 and a half years ago, right?
Yeah.
So this one, these are the things that you get. So if we're just going it based off the fact that you've already owned it on PlayStation 4, so for $17, you're getting the Lost levels, which are 3 levels that weren't in the original game, and they expand on certain points in the story. So it's kind of like a deleted scenes that you get with a movie, like with
Cool.
a DVD, right?
Yeah.
They are, because they didn't finish them, because they didn't put them in the game, they are like slightly underdeveloped, but that's kind of part of it because there's directors and writers of the game who actually give you like audio commentary as you're playing it, right?
Oh, right.
So it's just a little like behind the scenes.
quite
There's
cool.
also guitar free play mode. So
Oh, yeah.
you get to choose which person from the game, like Abby or Joel or Tommy or Ellie, you choose like your character, you choose the guitar. There's different skins to your guitar. And if you've played The Last of Us Part 2, you use the touchpad on the PlayStation 5 controller and you can select the note and you can actually just play a guitar. in
Just
the
for
game.
fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
There is no,
Cool.
it's just if you want to play, I don't know, Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
Okay.
Just an easy one to go off the top of my head.
Oh, that's a tough ask.
Just if you want to do just like a 4-minute guitar solo.
Cool.
But the excuse me, the big thing, and this is what I've been playing the most, because I played some of the storyline, but I've been playing the no return mode, which is like a survival It's a survival game where
Is it a roguelike?
roguelike survival game where you can play you can unlock different characters, and those characters have different playable like styles.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through different levels and you unlock skins and it's just you take on different waves of enemies like the infected or different people.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so cool about it is as you go through the levels, you can upgrade your weapons, you can buy stuff, and that you can take that through to the next level. However, if you die, if you get killed, or if you quit halfway through, then it just completely resets. So you've kind of got to stick to it.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a fun little game mode that you normally would be paying top dollar for, but this is something that they've included in a remaster.
Cool.
So
Okay.
they're not breaking ground like horde mode and stuff like that. Like where it's like COD Zombies, like you're just facing different waves.
Yeah.
That's been done before, but I just feel like the way that they've done it is quite cool. It's sticking to the style of Naughty Dog and The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's not like a weird like you're just playing a survival mode, but you just happen to be Ellie. Like it actually makes sense.
Okay.
Cool.
So
okay.
$10 US, $17 New Zealand. I reckon if you have PlayStation 4 copy of the game, like Chris. See, the thing is, this remaster is designed for Chris.
Can I?
Right.
As a player.
Yeah, he's
Can I
been
comment to
silently
this?
over there. Yes. What would you like to say?
I love The Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah.
Narratively, I thought it was a bit too depressing compared to Last of Us 1. There was a nice balance in The Last of Us 1. Number 2 is like you're sitting there crying the entire game, right?
Just
Oh,
a
okay.
kick in the nuts the whole time.
It looks amazing. The gameplay is awesome. It totally holds up. However, this remaster, which we have been given for free, by the way, by PlayStation, thank you very much for that.
thank you,
Really appreciate it. Keep it
PlayStation.
coming, despite what I'm about to say. If you put the same disc in, there is a PlayStation 5 update that came out 2 years ago, and there's a channel on YouTube called Digital Foundry. Have you heard of them?
No.
Nah.
Their job is to test like the ability for example, if you bought a game on Xbox, on PS5, and on Windows, which one looks better?
Oh, yeah.
And like remasters the difference between old games. And their findings were it looks exactly the same as if you just put your PS4 disc in your PS5. Graphically, they have changed like nothing.
Yeah.
And full kudos to Naughty Dog because it already looks awesome. So the game looks sick, right?
Yeah.
I think you'll get a few more frames per second or whatever if you're a real nerd about it on PS5.
It's
with
like
this new
fidelity
thing.
mode and stuff like that, depending on what TV you're rolling.
Yeah,
But,
right.
So the TV I'm actually rolling, I can already get like a really good mode with 40 frames. I can't remember what it is, but like it already looks amazing. And they compared them. Like, there's literally no difference. You won't be able to tell the difference. So if you already have it, do not buy this unless you want to play the 3 levels, which apparently equate to 20 minutes of game time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it with 3 levels. And that roguelike mode, which is, and I'm glad they didn't charge full price for this, but God of War literally released God of War Valhalla over the summer for free, and it is exactly the same thing with a full storyline attached to it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you haven't played it before, get that one.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got it on PS4 and you don't want to spend any money, just chuck your PS4 one. It updates, and it already looks sick.
Yeah, if you want to go down the visual thing. But I reckon if you've got the PlayStation 4 version, $17
For an extra $17, you get the like definitive
for the
edition.
value of what you get, the extra added extra, $17 is you should be paying more.
Yeah.
Isn't this a nice like this is good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is good. I'm really enjoying this.
is
With
good.
my gavel. No, I don't need it because you're actually very civil today.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, good work,
Wait
guys.
till afterwards, Goro.
So
Alright.
that's what I'm going to be playing. The Last of Us Part 2 remaster. What are you guys playing?
Nice.
I am going because I played Spider-Man leading into the summer holidays. I finished Spider-Man.
Nice.
And I was fully done. I was like, I'm sick of Spider-Man combat. I was like, oh God, I shouldn't have played the first one again. I should have just gone straight to Miles Morales and then the second one.
Yeah.
However, the storyline in the first one is so good that I was like, all right, I'm just going to do the last few levels and story bits. And it was so amazing with Dr. Octavius and stuff that I was just like, I have to play Miles Morales right now. Put that in. And even though that game's a couple of years old, it is sick.
Oh, it's so cool.
I'm only halfway through it, and it's only a short game, but he's got all these different powers. The storyline's sick. There's cool music playing when you're swinging around.
Yeah.
It is awesome. And I'm just like, I think I'm going to play Spider-Man 2. Even though I'm sick of the combat, I'm now not sick of it because they've changed it just enough.
Yeah, right.
Highly recommend you
Okay.
don't take your foot off the gas.
Just
do
go for
exactly
it, right?
Just
I'm
once you
gonna
finish
go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
I'll bring, because you don't have a copy of Spider-Man 2, I'll bring
Because I
it
gave
in.
it away.
Yeah.
yes,
right.
very selfless
Very
of you.
selfless.
Yeah.
So, you should
Bring it
definitely-
in. And I'm just going to go hammer and tongs right the way through because, and I forgot how amazing narratively and like as a cinematic experience those Spider-Man games are. They are fantastic.
Yeah, nice.
So shout out.
Okay.
What about you, Ellie?
Look, I'm just going to set the expectation right now. I
Don't
would
say
love to play.
Don't say it. I feel like there should be a jar in here with coins that goes in every single time you say those 3 words.
Okay. I would like to do some gaming this week, but I'm not sure if I'll get to it.
Why is
Is what
that?
I'll say. Okay. So, Oh, this is grim. This week I've got a funeral. And then
Oh,
I've
good
got
one, Guy.
sorry. No, and then I've got friends up for the weekend, and then it'll be Tuesday again. So I'm looking at my week ahead, and I'm being realistic.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how much gaming I'll get in. However, if I could, my ideal situation would either be playing a little bit of Stray, because I still haven't got past the demo bit of that. Or just chucking
Don't.
Is the funeral for your PlayStation
Neither.
5 controller because it's died? Because it's just full of
good one.
dust?
Oh, well,
That was a good one.
sorry to hear that, Ellie. And
no, that's okay.
That's fine, mate. We'll give you a pass.
No, yeah, thank you. So yeah,
For this week.
no expectations for this week, but maybe next week I'll play some games. We'll see.
Play some mobile games at the wake.
Oh, that's a good
You
idea.
know.
That'd be really respectful, I
bit of-
think. Yeah.
Fruit ninja-ing at the funeral. Guy.
Just playing bacon.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Come on.
So yeah, that's me. No promises. What were you gonna say?
And before we wrap up, we're about to wrap up very quickly. I just
Yes.
need to do a quick shout out.
Yes.
I have got a new thing I'm interested in doing, which is where you can buy an old original Game Boy Advance if you have one of these, or a Game Boy Advance SP, which is a flip top.
Oh, yeah. No.
I used to have one. I don't know what the hell happened to it. And you can now buy new stuff for them and kit them out and make yourself a new Game Boy out of them.
Ah,
And I want to do it. It involves like soldering bits together, buying an LCD screen from Japan and like installing it and getting a new shell and making your own custom one.
wow.
Because while I was playing Zelda on the plane, I was like, I just wish I had a Game Boy with like Pokemon Red and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, and so what I want to do is get one of those. So if anyone out there has an old Game Boy Advance, I've been looking online. They're so expensive and there's hardly any. Either an Advance or an SP, please message me, Chris Key NZ on Instagram. I'll buy it off you. And I'm going to be the guy who's rocking around because I want to bring this back. People just, you're walking around, someone challenges you to a Pokemon battle. And you go, bro, I got my Game Boy right here and my cable, let's go.
Yeah, but if you're talking about how rare they are to find, what is the likelihood of that scenario playing out?
Good point.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I'm a starter. I'm starting a revolution.
Oh,
Let's,
okay.
let's get the
Yeah.
stuff back happening because people have got them in their drawers at home, in their childhood drawers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get them back out. Let's get some Pokemon battles going. Challenge
All
me
right.
if you see me and I'll take you down.
I hope you do
Okay.
this, and then
go
somebody
to.
in 6 months' time, somebody's like, Keezy, bloody,
Don't-
and
yeah.
then I'll hit you up, and you go, oh shit, I left it at home.
No, it won't.
And then that scenario will never come up again. You're like, "Ah."
It'll be different. It'll be like this. It'll be like, or did I turn my hat backwards like Ash Ketchum and the music starts playing and I throw my Game Boy at their face.
Wow.
Yes, thinking it's a Pokeball. But if
That's
anyone
cool.
does have any of those old things lying around, please message me because I need
Okay.
one and they are very hard to get.
I might have one.
Oh my God! Forget everything I said.
Producer Jacob.
I'll take it.
I'm going to my mum's this weekend.
Okay,
I'll have a
come
good
with you.
look. It's a Game Boy SP.
SP the flip.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I need it. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Okay, we'll take this.
We'll
off
have a
there.
look.
Yeah.
Don't give it to him.
No,
Charge.
do it.
Charge him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'll pay for it.
Do really charge them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for like $20. Thanks, mate. All right, let's go.
Nice. All right, ignore everything Chris just said 'cause he may have just found it
No,
anyway.
still message me because
We'll find out next week when
Yeah.
Jacob comes back and he's like, oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't-
no, it didn't
wasn't
I
happen.
mum's.
I need two
Oh, okay.
because I want to have one that I can trade with myself with.
Of
Oh
course.
my gosh.
Because no one's got them anymore. So if
Yeah.
if anyone's got one, please let me know.
Okay, yeah. Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast on Instagram if you want to message us.
Or Chris KNZ as well. Yeah.
Or that one. A little
Yeah.
plug there for your own little Instagram there, eh?
Yeah, we've got so many listeners. I just thought I'd get in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.